And greetings, Hodman and Air Acolytes. Welcome back to Breaking Wind, a Last Airbender podcast. It's a special episode because as of the second episode that we cover today, we are halfway through the first season in our recap of the first season of Avatar, counting down to the big Netflix premiere of Avatar The Last Airbender, which is a adaptation of Avatar The Last Airbender, in case you did not know. I am Jason Roy Gaston, and the delightful man to my side, the brother I never wanted, VHS Jace. Take a bow, sir.
There we go. I'm just thrilled to say that you just said we're halfway through the season, and in this modern world, halfway through the season would be episode 5. To know that we've watched 10 episodes and we still have another 10, and we're only in the first season. Giddy up.
It's an old-fashioned show, really. It's presented in a square and 20 episodes per season, which they do cut it down to 18 for 2 and 3. But hey, 18. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, well, let's just say there's nothing square about this show.
Except maybe us.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. I accept it. Anyway, let's talk about the Waterbending Scroll, which is episode number 9 of season 1. So as we pick up with the Waterbending Scroll, we've just had that big kerfluffle with the solstice, and Aang is understandably anxious because he's got to learn all these bending forms before the end of summer. Because at the end of summer, the Fire Lord is going to take over the world. So he's got anxiety, understandably so. Yes. And so Katara has the bright idea, hey, I know a little bit of waterbending. How about I teach you some and you get a head start? Aang thinks that's a great idea. And so they land by a waterfall, and I don't know what it is about Aang, why he feels like he's got to get naked at every chance he gets, but he gets naked and Katara says, no, you are not Uncle Iroh. You can't get away with that. It's not funny when you do it.
I thought it was funny.
Speaking of Uncle Iroh does the unthinkable. He changes course. He takes his nephew's boat and changes course because something terrible has happened. He has misplaced his lotus tile for his game board, and he can't play without it because the lotus is very important. And to those of you at home who are watching this, having seen this series, the lotus is very important.
Well, I just took it as it's like trying to play Monopoly with losing the car. It's not the same.
No, you got to have the car and the dog. If you don't have either one of those, just throw the whole board out.
Exactly.
Zuko is understandably upset by this, but of course, by this point in the series, he knows better. He's not going to argue. Whatever, let's go get your tile for your Pajong board. Whatever, let's go do that. Meanwhile, Katara and Aang are learning basic waterbending, or rather, Aang is mastering the few techniques that Katara knows. Now, I do like what he says here whenever he starts mastering what she does. She says, oh, it took me months to learn this. He said, well, you didn't have a teacher, and I have the greatest teacher in the world. First of all, Aang, that's super smooth. Very, very smooth. But you can tell she's simmering under the surface right now. And after Aang accidentally overdoes it a little bit and sends their supplies downriver, they have to go to a village. And before we do go to the village, of course, in case you didn't know Katara was simmering, that is Katara simmering, and that's Aang being completely clueless because he is a little numbskull.
Yeah.
Aang, you are smooth, but you got a lot to learn about women. But who am I to talk? I got a lot to learn about women as well.
We all do.
Oh, you're an aura. So, they go to a village. Aang is not very good with money either. He's about as good with money as he is with women. And although they only have 3 copper pieces left, he takes one of them and buys a whistle with it. A bison whistle that apparently doesn't work. Okay, fine. They get talked into boarding a boat with a salesman, and Katara finds a water tribe waterbending scroll on board with moves that she does not know. It's kind of like an instruction book, a cheat manual, if you will. Katara tries to buy it, but they're told by these totally not pirates that it's already been sold for more money than what they have. Katara's like, fine, we will just leave. And as they leave, the pirates suddenly chase them for no reason whatsoever.
Just get them pesky kids.
Get those pesky kids for no reason whatsoever. So they run for it, and of course we run into our old friend, the Cabbage Man. My cabbages! He just can't catch a break.
I'm glad we're not having the heart to show the cabbage thing being destroyed because, you know, I'm all on Cabbage Man's side here. He would have lost like weeks of pay out of that.
Yeah, I'm for the guy too. On the other hand, you shouldn't be selling cabbages. They're disgusting. I don't know. They're disgusting and they make you fart.
Oh.
You cannot deny that.
I stand with Cabbage Man.
I stand with Cabbage Man too, but he should find a new fruit to sell.
I do agree. His choice is pretty horrific.
Yes. Cabbages are a bad food, and if you enjoy them, you're a bad person. Nobody ever says my favorite vegetable is cabbage. Nobody. And if you do, then there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. Under duress.
Aang uses his he uses his airbending to escape with Sokka and Katara, and they fly away. So that's whenever we get the shocking revelation that, you know what? The pirates weren't chasing us for no reason. Katara's got sticky fingers. She stole the waterbending scroll. Which, okay, first of all, she's already been a little bit simmery jealous during this episode. My question is, was she actually justified in stealing the scroll? Because she said, well, they stole it from a waterbender. I'm just stealing it back.
They
is
even,
it okay to steal from
not
a thief?
to spoil the end of it, but they kind of try to justify it right at the end too, which I have a problem with. Maybe it's okay to steal pirates. I just don't think it's good to steal, period.
I'm kind of the same way. That I think that this episode probably gave kids the wrong message that it's okay to steal if you think it was stolen from somebody else. I know
they didn't have evidence.
Yeah, I know kids are a lot smarter than that, but usually Avatar is very careful with its messaging, and that was not good. Maybe
I'm wondering.
What's that?
What I'm wondering is Katara's behaviour and this change of character that we're seeing. Is there a big issue at play that I don't know about yet? Because her changing her behaviours, and it even happens in the next episode as well. But maybe there's something bigger at play that I'm not aware of yet, because it's certainly been a change, you know.
Well, we are seeing a character who has had a place in the world that has kind of been thrust upon her. It was a place that she never really wanted either, you know, being basically a nursemaid and babysitter for the water tribe. And now she's out in the world and she's seeing more of what the world has to offer. And I think a very realistic thing of it is that she does not adjust smoothly. And she does make some really bad decisions. She does things that she shouldn't do. And she trusts people that she shouldn't trust. And that's really about it. There's really no other issue other than
that makes 100% sense. You know, it's kind of seeing her. It's funny seeing her kind of regression to negative behavior, and then I see Sokka over these couple episodes rise with his character. So it's an interesting kind of juxtaposition there.
Sokka is an incredibly underrated character, especially in the first season, because he comes off as a buffoon, but at the same time, if you look at every episode, most of the time he's right. And he's a very wise leader.
That's the wonderful gift of these writers, to make him seem like he's a buffoon and to give us the gift of his evolution. It's actually brilliant that they did make him a buffoon early on, I think.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to try to hit the right image right now. Let's see.
It's always hard. Yeah.
It is hard. That's the wrong image.
Yep.
Let's see. Is that the right image? There we go. Okay. So to find his missing lotus tile, Iroh coincidentally brings Zuko to the very same village that the gang is in right now, and they learn from the pirates that the Avatar is around, and so of course it's team up time, Avengers style.
Mm.
Katara tries to use the waterbending scroll to learn these new techniques, but she's not very good at them, and so
That's quite selfish too.
she does. She takes a selfish turn and then tells Aang, "Oh, here, you can have it. I don't want it. You need it more than I do."
Anyone out there who's ever had an older sister when you were kids playing with things relates to that very much. That scene,
Yes.
I related to that. That happened to me.
Yeah, and she snaps at Aang at one point because he's naturally good at things, and she struggle busses. Which, if you've been in that situation, you know how frustrating that can be. So I'm not off Team Katara yet, but I'm dangerously close. Late at night, Katara takes the scroll and tries to learn the new bending techniques by herself, which was an incredible idea. Nothing bad could happen. Oh, no, wait. She attracts the attention of Zuko and the pirates who come by and capture her.
Yeah.
There's a great scene here where Zuko tries diplomacy with her. And she, hey, you don't know. This is why I need the Avatar. I need him to get my honor back. You know what? Let's make a trade. Look what I have. I have your necklace. I like that they're showing that there's a side to him other than just anger and more anger. That he is conniving, and that he can talk to people and offer them what they want, and that he can be an intelligent person.
That's got to be the influence of his uncle. It's got
Absolutely.
to be.
Absolutely. So around this time, Aang and Sokka wake up. They realize Katara's gone with the scroll. And that's the wrong episode. No, it's not.
Oh,
but the pirates show up, and they both get captured because
they get captured in the forest, don't they? With a couple of pirates net them up.
Do yes. I like seeing normies, non-benders, take on benders and win. I think that's really cool that they're showing that. Yeah, you know what? They've got power, but you could still overcome power with sheer talent. And I like that. I like that message there.
We get that big time in the fight sequence, right?
Absolutely, we do.
Between the pirates and the Fire Nation.
Yes. So Sokka now comes up, and he uses a clever bit of trickery. He tells the pirates, "Hey, you're going to trade the Avatar for that scroll?" And the pirates are like, "Wait a second, this is the Avatar? We're not going to trade him for that scroll. That scroll is nowhere near as valuable as this guy." Again, listen to Sokka. Sokka's right. Sokka's right. Sokka is very wise. A brawl breaks out. The gang gets free, and they steal the pirate ship using waterbending, which I think was it was funny and it was incredible. And of course, Iroh, that's the wrong. Oh, darn it, that's the wrong one. Iroh, your boat is getting away. We don't have time for your metaphors. It's not a metaphor. Your boat's getting away.
Maybe it should be.
It should be a metaphor. He's got so many great lines. Mako was so much fun in this role. The Fire Nation and the pirates, Fire Nation, the Zuko and the pirates sounds like a TV show in itself. Zuko and the pirates coming this fall. They follow the pirate ship and they start jumping on board. And it's at this time that Katara finally learns how to use her waterbending skills from the scroll because she listens to what Aang told her about the hand movements. Yes. So she humbles herself. She allows her student to become the master, and she uses the waterbending techniques, which I thought was a great bit. The ship is heading for a waterfall, and they're having to use. Oh yeah,
love a good waterfall, mate. Because
absolutely, always fun.
It adds that extra tension, doesn't it?
Yes, of course. It makes me wonder, how did the ship get upriver?
Good point.
But it's a cartoon. Who cares? They firebend it over the waterfall. Who knows?
Yep.
So my favorite gag in this whole thing is that Aang blows that stupid whistle that he wasted money on. And who should appear
Appa.
But Appa, Han Solo, Yahoo! Coming in to rescue them at the last minute. Because of course he does.
Clear shot, kid. Let's blow this thing. And off they go.
And as they fly off, the biggest twist of all, Iroh had the Lotus tile in his sleeve pocket the whole time. And I'm sorry, that smile is just incredible. Love the character. Love the character. And of course, we kind of... Go ahead.
Go on.
No, you please. You go right ahead.
Say, from this episode, I'm starting to really appreciate the nuance, if I'm going to say, in this, because there are little moments of all these characters, some I'm not aware of, but the ones I am aware of, I'm going, wow, this isn't A to B to C to D. They are really doing things here that are little subtle changes to characters that I love. Katana, as much as she was not a nice person this episode, damn, it does a lot for her character.
It does. And you know, growth sometimes involves pain. And here we see Katara being a huge pain. But we also see growth in Sokka because, of course, he rescued the Waterbending Scroll from the pirates and gives it to Katara and Aang so that they can continue to learn. And thus we wrap up the... Yes, the Waterbending Scroll wrapped up.
It's a good episode. It's a really great, solid, entertaining episode. I can't be critical of it because even the things that I didn't like about Katana are still really important for her character and still, a big driver for the episode. So,
isn't Katana the character from Mortal Kombat?
Did I just call her Katana?
Yeah, you've been calling her Katana all day today. I've just been letting you go because it's funny.
Mortal Kombat. I have been playing Mortal Kombat.
Wins.
I have been playing Mortal Kombat quite a lot recently. I will say that.
There you go. You got Katana. You got Katana on the brain. Yes. Katara is nice. Katara will not rip your heart out. Katana will. Katana's the one with the fans, isn't she?
Yeah. Katara.
So in a sense, Katana is an airbender.
I wish it's the last time I have to talk about Katara, but the next episode, I got some issues with her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because the next issues is Jet, Season 1, Episode 10. And may I just say, I have feelings about Jet. I have major feelings about Jet. So
right, okay. Well, you've set it up.
Yeah. Let's talk about Jet. So Momo's flying out in the woods and gets trapped. And first of all, breaks my heart to see Momo in a cage. Momo does not deserve to be in a cage. No. Nobody puts Momo in the corner. Thankfully, Aang comes along and not only sets Momo free, but also sets free all of the other animals that were in cages. Sokka, in his wisdom, looks at the cages and says, oh, hey, this is Fire Nation technology because it's metal. And they're the only ones who use metal. And that means they're following us. So we need to leave. And then again, Sokka being extremely intelligent and everybody thinking he's an idiot, even though he's not, he has a great point. He says, hey, you know what else? We probably shouldn't fly on Appa because he's very noticeable. Everybody knows who's flying on him. Let's walk. Let's walk out of here. Aang and Katara are terrible to him. They are just horrible to Sokka, even though Sokka is right. Sokka's right, and they should be talking. They should be taking his advice. Now, here's the conundrum, though. They take his advice, and Sokka walks them right into a Fire Nation camp.
So maybe taking his advice, but maybe not his directions.
Yes, he's great with advice, but not directions. Of course, if they had not been berating him the entire time, maybe he would have been a little bit more attentive. I'm just saying. You were pointing this out earlier. Katara's got a brand new toy.
She's got that Jace.
Yeah, she's got a canteen. She keeps water in so she can use it as a weapon whenever she needs to. Or in this case, a rescue because Sokka is, well, he gets a little fire on him.
Look, can I just say, it's the little touch. I might be overthinking it, but it's just the way she held it, and then she pulled the water out like a samurai would pull out their sword.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that little bit of animation. Just, mwah.
Yeah, there's so many great touches in these episodes. So Sokka tries to talk his way out, but it does not work. But thankfully, this guy shows up. Jet shows up, and he and his merry men take out all 20 Fire Nation soldiers and rescue Aang and the gang. Jet raids the camp and finds blasting jelly and candy. Two things that don't go together, but let's try not to eat the wrong one.
Yeah. I like his crew. Can I just say to interrupt that in this moment, Jet, not so sure about, but his crew, I'm all about it. I'm like, let's go and watch Jet and the gang get up to adventures for a while.
Jet and the Gang coming this summer to Nickelodeon. It's pretty obvious that Katara's making goo-goo eyes at Jet. She likes what she sees, and she wants to see more. And
that's my problem with it. My problem with the episode is that she's usually very smart, but she goes gooey eyes straight away.
But you also have to realize, again, Katara is a teenager, and she's going out into the world for the very first time. There's a good chance that everybody in her water tribe was related to her. So it's like the dating pool was kind of small. And now she's got a boy.
Don't they make a joke about that? Doesn't she pay out Sokka about that? When he goes, I've kissed a girl.
Who, Gran?
But the good point is, like, they would know, everyone knows each other.
Yeah, everybody knows your name. Everybody's got your DNA. It's like West Virginia.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jet's a good-looking guy. He's paying her attention. She, in her naivety, is just like, oh, it's love, it's love, it's love. Oh, hearts and flowers and moon pies and everything like that. But Jet invites them back to his place, which is this really cool treehouse that he goes up into, and tells them that they're freedom fighters and that his parents were killed by Fire Nation, and now him and his freedom fighters fight the Fire Nation and try to run them out of the villages that are around this place. They invite Sokka to go out with them, and there's another cool, very very Ewok type of.
It is. I was wondering if the Ewok, the Nub Nub song, was playing in the background.
Well, maybe they just couldn't get the rights to it, but they invite Sokka to come out with them.
Original Nub Nub song.
They invite Sokka to go out with them, and they jump an old man out in the woods, which is you shouldn't do. You shouldn't do. And they rob the old man, and Sokka starts getting bad vibes from this group.
I think if it wasn't for Sokka, they were going to beat the living life out of that old man.
Well, they were totally going to murder him.
Yeah, like it was really one thing to steal from the Fire Nation. I actually go, well, you're part of a rebellion. You're going to steal their resources, but to actually look like you're going to kill him, ouch.
Oh yeah.
Some Lord of the Flies things happening there.
But Sokka, again, very intelligent, and he goes and tells Katara. And he tells Aang, hey, they were beating up this old man in the woods. And they go to confront Jet, and Jet says, oh, yeah, well, look at this knife he had. It had poison on the inside. He came here to kill me. Sokka calls BS. He didn't have a knife. You're lying. But, of course, Katara, being the idiot and love that she is, goes, hey, I trust him, not my brother. Yeah. And Aang's just like, I trust whatever Katara says. Huh? Yeah. I'm kind of disappointed in Aang in this episode, too, to be honest. Because he doesn't use his common sense. It's kind of like spider sense, but everybody has it, or most people should.
Yeah, it does play a backseat role, doesn't it? Quite a bit in this.
Yes, absolutely. So I've lost my place. Give me a moment.
They went up to Ewok Village.
Yes. So. Katara and Sokka get into this big fight. Katara wants to help Jet prevent the Fire Nation from setting fire to the forest and burning Jet and his freedom fighters out. Sokka just wants to leave. He says, this guy's bad news. We just need to get out of here. Sokka, through spying, finds out that Jet and his freedom fighters are planning to blow up a dam that they are tricking Katara and Aang into filling. They're tricking them into filling a reservoir, and then they're going to blow a dam, which is going to take out this garrison of Fire Nation troops. However, In doing that, it's also going to take out a nearby village and kill everyone there. But Jet does not care because he's not a freedom fighter. Jet is a terrorist. Everybody thinks they're
considers
a
it
freedom
collateral
fighter.
damage.
Exactly. When collateral damage becomes okay with you, you're no longer a freedom fighter. You are a terrorist. But Sokka gets captured, and Aang and Katara start filling up the reservoir because there's Sokka getting captured right there. Aang and Katara start filling up the reservoir somewhere around here.
Yep, that's probably a good
somewhere.
example. That if you actually go to the one number 13, I think it is. That's because on number 13 is where they've got to kind of bring the water out underground. It helps, doesn't it? That's what their job is, to bring that water up.
Yeah, and fill the reservoir so Jet can basically murder an entire village to get rid of the Fire Nation that lives in that village. It's just a wonderful Shades of Grey episode. And while you can look down on Katara as decisions and Aang being very passive in this episode, I love the Shades of Grey question. It really solidified itself during Battlestar Galactica about when is it acceptable to be a freedom fighter and when is it acceptable to be a terrorist. I know this is a kid's show and they were not exactly going to explore that very heavily, but at the same time, it's really cool that it was brought up at all.
Yeah, exactly. And at the end of the day, what's really great about the episode too is you can have your personal feelings about Jet, but I think the way they've done it, they've also done it in a way that you can go, well, you can see how Jet got there.
Yes.
You know, he's an orphan. He's been made orphan. He wants vengeance. This is purely a mission of vengeance and nothing else matters.
Yeah.
And you can understand it. So, and that's what's great about it too, is just like kind of get everyone's perspective on it.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful, wonderful episode. Sokka manages to get away from his captors. Oh boy, I'm having the hardest time finding the right. There we go.
There we go.
Sokka manages to trick his captors into walking into the Fire Nation traps that caught Momo earlier, and he hightails it back. However, after a fight between Jet and Aang, which was just an amazing fight that kind of reminded me of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon above the treetops and dancing along and falling through the canopies and everything. After this, Katara binds Jet in ice, but it's too late. He's already sent the message. He's already sent the signal to blow the dam. And surprisingly, the village is destroyed. And there is this wonderful moment whenever that dam blows and it's completely silent. And it drops like I don't even want to say it drops like a hammer. It drops like a dump truck of hammers.
Well, and it is so heavy. Tight shot on Katara, like in absolute shock that everybody's going to die.
Yeah, and it's partially her fault.
Yeah. Oh, did you just mention about the teddy bear along the river?
I have not.
No,
but yes,
that was so cool too, because that hammers it down as like even kids died in this thing.
Oh yeah.
But it's a kids show, so we're not going to do that. It is a kids
show. But it is a kids show, so yeah, even though death does happen, not on this scale, because Sokka shows up on Appa and tells them, hey, I warned the villagers and the Fire Nation garrison that the dam was going to get blown. And what I loved most of all, what I loved most of all is that the Fire Nation didn't believe him until the old man spoke up for him. The old man that he saved in the village, in the woods. I love that. Because it's that cyclical, this one act of kindness comes along and is repaid to you. Katara leaves Jet behind, and of course, we all learn, trust this man's instincts. Not his sense of direction, but his instincts.
Well, here's the thing about that too, isn't it? Because it's interesting because initially his instincts are kind of right, but kind of wrong. And I love that message is you always got to trust your instincts. Even though it may put you sometimes in a position where you didn't exactly think that was going to be the outcome, always go with your instincts. It's great.
Yes.
By the way, not everyone died in that place because the little girl got her teddy back.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah. Everybody lived. Let's just say everybody lived.
Everyone went home that night.
We have not seen the last of Jet.
Okay, that was my first question. Do we get to see Jet again? Because
yes, we do.
I don't like him, but I
don't
can
like
see how he could be fun in the episodes. Not as a character, but the idea of having him in the episodes is a fun idea.
Yeah, he does show up again, but not until next season.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That is episode 10, and we are now officially halfway through the first season of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
And in this, we've introduced all our main characters. We've dug into them a bit. We've understand what Aang's to do. We've dug into them a little bit.
We have not
met everyone.
We have not met everyone yet.
Okay, we've met our main characters. Is that fair to say? The trilogy, we've got Sokka, we've got Katara.
No, we have not met all the main characters.
Okay, all right. Well, so far, I think they've done an excellent job over 10 episodes. Not only set up the rules of the world, the characters that we have seen at this point, the idea of what the mission is. I love that. And I even love the idea in this last 2 episodes to go, no, this is possible for him to achieve because he's a very quick learner. Yes. All those things is a point of me saying, awesome. Yes. That's really what I'm trying to say. So wow, so you shocked me again there because I had no idea. I thought, okay, here's our main 3 characters. We've got our 2 animals, and that's it. That's our crew.
No,
wow, so much to discover.
There's still somebody waiting, and you're gonna love this person when you meet them.
Oh wow, I look forward to it. And I stick by the rules, Jace. I know I'm under. I know there's that sniper rifle because I see occasionally the red dot hit my head, making sure I'm not watching. I'm not watching ahead in Avatar.
You'd be surprised how hard it is to control that thing from America, by the way.
Yeah, that's it. So I know to only watch 2 episodes at a time. But damn, I think that's becoming torture in itself.
Well, it's going to be even more torturous because of the holiday season coming up. We are going to take a 2-week break because we have the Christmas. I know we have Christmas coming up. We have New Year's coming up, and unfortunately, this was going to fall on Christmas Day and on New Year's Day. So I'm sorry. I like my holidays, and also, I don't know if you want anybody knowing about this or not, but you have a special day coming up as well. The big 5-0. Oh my God!
You're being kind. It's really my 111th birthday.
111th. Yeah, so you're gonna put on a ring and disappear, and nobody's gonna see you again.
Pretty soon.
So anyway, since I won't have a chance to say it later on the show, I'll just say it now. Happy birthday, Jace! It's my pleasure to know you, and I hope that you have a wonderful half-century birthday.
Well, the amount of content we're going to do, you're going to be around for the next half. So we got lots to do. Brilliant! Can't wait. More Avatar in my life. Need it more.
Absolutely.
I even debated, and I went, no, Jason would say, no, don't do that. I even debated in my head for about 30 seconds where I go, oh, well, maybe I can watch The Legend of Korra and then come back.
No.
But I kind of
said that. And then allowed.
I said that to my son, and him and his partner just both glare at me and go, do not do that.
No,
because my kids have all seen it. They love the show.
Yeah, the Legend of Korra spoils things in this series.
Yeah,
because it takes place afterwards.
Yeah, so no, I'm not doing that. I'm just going through. However, Jace, can we kind of say to the audience after we finish this season what we have to do?
Well, after we finish with this season, which we will have, let's see. Up next, we have The Great Divide, which is a very divisive episode, by the way, and The Storm. And then we have Okay, so let me count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 episodes of this podcast to go before we're at the end of the season. But we have to do one thing before we start tackling season 2, and it's something. It's something unpleasant, but it is something that we do have to do. We have to revisit, or in some cases, visit for the first time, M. Night Shyamalan's The Last Airbender. We have to, because it is M. Night Shyamalan retelling the first season
Oh,
of Avatar.
so the director of The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable is making an Avatar movie. This sounds fantastic.
You would think. You would think. Imagine somebody digs up the bones of your grandmother and defecates on it.
Right, okay.
That is what M. Night Shyamalan's The Last Airbender is.
Wow.
He doesn't even get the names pronounced correctly.
Okay.
During the entire movie, it's Ong. Ong! Come here, Ong! Uncle
With an
Ero!
O.
Come here, Uncle Ero! Yeah,
the things I have seen of it, which would have been the trailer back in the day and screen caps, my initial reaction was like, oh, wow, they totally shot this in the back lot. Like, there's no... it looked very in a studio.
I don't know where they shot it. I just know that there was a very strong scent of brimstone wherever they shot it.
Oh, wow. Oh, well, you know what? I still have 10 more episodes of this wonderful show and joy to endure. I don't really think that's the right word, endure. I've got 10 more episodes to watch, and that'll be a positive experience. And then if I have to eat a little bit of crud, I'll eat a little bit of crud.
Well, and plus, after we get done with the Airbender movie, it'll be about the time for the first season of the Netflix show.
Which could go either way.
It could go either way. I don't know. So we'll see. Hopefully it will be good. I hope it will be good.
I would imagine that one of the biggest focuses when discussing redoing that project as a Netflix series, that they would have looked at the film a lot as messaging as what not to do.
You would think, yes.
Yeah. So we'll see what the result is. But yeah, can't wait. Can't wait.
Okay. And I can't wait to see you again, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy New Year. Happy whatever you celebrate. We hope it's a good one. And we will see you in 2024. 2 weeks.
There you go.
God, Jet is the worst.
Jet is pretty bad. And now you're scaring me because he's back in the series. So we're going to see more of Jet being not a nice guy.
Yeah, a big see you next Tuesday. I agree.